Now we have over 8,000 rental units, over 300 employees, and we make millions of dollars each and every month. What you're about to see is how I spend my day and some of the very best lessons that I've learned along the way. And I promise you, is not what you expect my day looks like. I'm going to build a house. Actually, I've already bought the land and already designed a new house. I haven't broken ground yet. The construction cost came in 10 million higher than I thought. 10 million higher, by the way, to build it. So I was supposed to break ground on it a couple of years ago. I thought it was going to be 8 million. So I bought the land. The land's probably 4 or 5. I thought it was going to be like an $8 million build, and it was 16 to 18. So in the mornings I'd get the kids up. Every morning when they were 8, 10, 12, I'd go get them up at like 5:36. We'd get in the hot tub every morning. Yeah, so we would go, all right, let's just, for 5 minutes, we're just gonna listen to everything. And then you can tell me what you hear. And so we're all just quiet once the jacuzzi goes off or whatever. So I've been doing that for years with the boys. Obviously, they moved out since. Yeah, this is get her all worked out. Then I go work out. What happens at first is it's all you, like everything's you, like sales, marketing, accounting, right? So when you start, I get that. But the whole goal of a business is to support your lifestyle. So when you don't have a lot of people or a team, it's impossible not to work a lot, right? So as you get bigger, you hire better people, more people. You use the business to fund. Well, you use the business to create your freedom. So at some point, you have, all you're trying to do is make it more efficient so that you can work on the company and not inside of it, right? So for example, yesterday, Ross and I met, my partner. We're planning a trip to New York in February to meet with 10 to 12 capital groups, right? That'll drive the company forward, right? Because we have certain benchmarks that we want to do for next year. This will all be around our capital raising and equity and stuff like that. So I just sprinkle the money in. The people in my company can find the deals, but I have to have all the financial support, and so does Ross, in order to pull that off. So that's what I worked on yesterday, but I was at my house, and Ross was at his house. And we're planning a trip in February, a couple of days in New York, And we'll come back with some term sheets and all that, and we'll put all that deal together, and that'll probably be what we'll do for this year. Working inside of a company doesn't make you money. Like you have to, that's like operations, and operations is what actually produces cash flow to be able to support the company itself. But then on top of all of that, you have to have a driver. You have to have a visionary that says, this is what I want to do next year, right? So like we want to buy 300 million in real estate, let's say next year. So that means that we're going to need 150 million in equity and 150 million in debt. So that's what I'm working on. I'm working on that stuff. So underneath it, I've got due diligence people and analysts and acquisition people and property management and asset management, all that stuff that manages the stuff that we have. But when I go to New York, for example, and I meet with a big equity group, the first thing you have to do is you have to show them your track record, your team, and what they all do, and then the vision. If you think of what New York is, it just takes everybody's money in the world, congregates it there, let's say, and then looks for people like us to go tell them that we want some. So somebody who raises a lot of money in New York through pensions or 401ks or retirement plans or whatever it is, even BlackRock, that money all comes from the people, right? I mean, that's what it is. It's managed money. So when I go into a meeting like with BlackRock, I'm going into them with a proposal to use the money that's actually yours in the first place. That's the irony of it all. It's the same way a bank works. So like when you guys work really hard every single day in your jobs and you go put your money in the bank, it's actually the bank's problem because the bank's paying you interest on your money, but then they have to make more on it to be able to stay in business. So that's how the system works. So once you understand the system, then you, of course, just go utilize the system the way that anyone would. So what I'll do is I'll go bring assets or cash flowing properties to make money on their money. So we're about 2 billion today, you know, and in just a few years we'll be at 3 or 4, let's say, depending on what the markets do. We had a trainer here yesterday, and Danielle's working on some very specific training things. So what did you learn yesterday from the trainer?
Just learned that if a dog's pooling, you can't let them pool, because that's how they learn to pool when they're adults. Because if they think that pooling means they get to go somewhere, then that's what they're going to do. And then we also learned that every time he does something good, we say yes with a treat immediately. And we're going to be working on name recall, hide and go seek, and this, as you can see, he's not super happy about it.
He's a 10-week adolescent. He's the most expensive dog ever. No, we took the jet and flew to Klamath Falls, Oregon to pick him up. Yeah, to the breeder. So, like, me and the kids and Danielle, we all went up to pick up this dog. Yeah. Danielle put a deposit on him a year ago. Yeah. So.
If anybody wants to challenge Ken to a workout, be my guest.
I know.
You might not expect it, but this was the hardest workout I've ever seen.
I'm 21 years old. Today we're going to do a podcast with an old friend. It'd be good. This is going to be a good one because this is a company that does fee management. So what that means is, let's say you put a group of money together and you buy something, but you don't know what the hell you're doing. So you go to a company like this to fee manage it for you. I used to be involved in this company. I was the president of it one time. Still good friends. You never burn bridges. And they asked me to be back on their podcast today. So the day will take advantage of you, or you got to take advantage of the day. So, you know, you have to decide, like, are you going to be subject to the emails, texts, you know, the insanity of people that think everything's urgent? Or are you going to stay structured and disciplined on how you run your day? On Mondays, I dedicate to, you know, the online YouTube marketing stuff. And then the second day is all high-level C-suite company-run meetings. So we have annual goals, 3-year goals, 5-year goals, and 10-year goals for every company. And then meetings that I have every Tuesday for an hour to an hour and a half each are all surrounded around those quarterly goals. So you set all those in advance. And you're not letting somebody take you down a rabbit hole for stupid stuff. Essentially, you're trying to stay on point. So everyone sets quarterly goals. They have to be goals to move the needle of the company forward, whatever company you're running. It cuts down on all the BS for all the email and back and forth and the CCs and, you know, like, you know how people, they hit, you know, reply all, you know, and then, like, all of a sudden you got all these side conversations. So all that's gone. Anything that's everything, the question I always ask is, can it wait till Tuesday? And if it can wait till Tuesday, and most of the time, 9 times out of 10, the answer is absolutely yes. So that's how I do Tuesdays. And then Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays are my days to grow the business, be more strategic on the vision. So, you know, I say that you got rent appreciation, you got market appreciation, and you have ego appreciation, you know. Nice. Like there's a lot of people that made a lot of money that are idiots. And so I personally love where we're headed in the next 2 years. I really believe that. Because what they're going to learn is that the market doesn't always go up. You know, you're not going to have this kind of rent growth. You know, we all know, we've been in the business long enough, 1, 2, 3% rent growth is what you budget. And that's historically what we've done. It's just been weird, you know. And also, you know, markets don't always go up. And so a lot of folks that have just come in, they think raising capital is kind of the, you know, the piece that is the most important. And it's actually quite easy. If you're an influencer online, you raise money. I mean, these guys don't know what they're doing. And then they maybe manage it themselves, or maybe if they're lucky, they come to a company like yours to manage for them if they're smart. But most of them don't. So for me, this is a great opportunity for, you know, as Warren Buffett would say, when the tide goes out, you see who's swimming naked. My experience has been that a lot of these people, they're not really that smart when it comes to how these things should run. And so they buy incorrectly. And what they do, because they don't take ownership for anything a lot of times, is they fire a management company. Something I haven't talked about at all, but I'm releasing a whole series of books called the Strategy Series. So these would be entry-level books for people that just need to learn, blocking and tackling strategies for things like legal or tax or real estate investment or whatever it might be. And so I'm meeting with a ghostwriter to help me kind of move things along. So the way I basically created the outlines, I've given them to him already, and now he's gone and done some research on all the things that I want in the book. And so now I'm going to have a meeting with him right now on Zoom. He lives in Florida, and so he'll be ghostwriting this book for me, which I'm hoping to have done. The draft will be done in March, and then it'll be like a fall release.
Started with just earnest money, which could be, relatively.
All the logistics, baby.
Right, the bottle line, So again, these are $5,000 and $10,000 tables per day.
Is that what they are?
In here, yeah. Top deck has the back fold busted out, and you see how there's that white structure?
Yeah. Is
all
that the
way
thing on
back
9?
there? It's the brand new 9-1.
Oh, that's where we're going to go on Thursday, right?
That's where we'll go on Thursday.
Chairman's badge.
So,
They expanded this. This is better.
So these are the same seats that are at the Masters golf tournament. This little decor area ambiance gets better every year.
They don't want too many people in one area. I get it.
No, I get it.
Or fire.
So I got a funny one for you. So in the very early days, there was this golfer. There's Jeff Ogilvy, who had won a U.S. Open.
I
right?
played with Jeff.
Okay,
yeah.
so nice guy, and it's Whisper Rock.
Yeah, I played golf with him.
But there's a guy named Joe Ogilvy, who was kind of this middle of the pack guy all the time. Never, I think he was in the hunt for one State Farm, one John Deere in his whole career. But he was also the agent. He represented the players, talking to the PGA and all this. Well, somehow he got to know us when we were first starting LifeLock. And so he literally put in, I don't remember, 50, 100 grand when we were I had not given out my social, we were super early. So we're growing through the years. Well, then next thing we have a box on 16, and so Joe would call me, hey, how's it going? Yeah, come over, see what's going on. Well, right before we get ready to go public, they're here playing the year we're gonna go. And so he comes out, and you see him, and this is during the tournament. And he comes out.
He's in the tournament playing?
He's in the tournament playing, and he comes out, and you see him come through here, and he gets to the, and then he's kind of looking. He sees me up there, and I go, hey, what's up? He goes,
Did he really?
TD, let's go. Show me the money. Take it public. His 50 grand probably turned into, well, I know it was over $1 million. Wow. I'll tell you what was super exciting. When we went public, we made over 100 millionaires that wouldn't have been millionaires, that were employees. And then when we sold, we made another 100 million.
So if you're a business owner and you're working 12 plus hours a day, I understand, but there's a better way. If you want to see how I broke free from working over 12 hours a day, from growing a small company to a very large company, take a look at my video here.